Danisha Carter's been harassing me for the last month and a half. Let's talk about it. A month and a half ago, we matched on a dating app and I regretfully hooked up with her. Since then, I realized that she not only lied about her age, but she also lied about being pregnant in an attempt to coerce me and emotionally blackmail me into sleeping with her again. That sounds crazy, but I'll show you all the screenshots. But before I address that, I want to address all these comments that your followers are leaving me. You keep spreading claims that I cheated on my girlfriend with you. Whole time I didn't meet the woman that you're referring to until after we hooked up. So let's not get it twisted. And trust and believe, if I met her first, I would have never fucking spoke to you. Me and Danisha hooked up on the night of January 9th. In the days following that, being a true Angelino, I was volunteering with fire relief effort. Because I was volunteering, I was not texting back quick enough for Danisha's liking, which led to her being very rude to me through text message. Pause to read. In response to that, I just explained that I was busy, but she kept berating me, so I just left her on red and stopped responding. She messaged me 2 or 3 days later apologizing for what she said, and I still didn't respond. A week or two later, Danisha messaged me saying that we need to talk. We spent over 30 minutes on the phone in which Danisha refused to disclose what we needed to talk about, and she said that we could only talk about it in person. Remember that for later. I expressed to her since she was rude, I did not feel comfortable coming over to her house, especially because she was saying I needed to come over at around 9, 10, 11 p.m. I told her we could meet at the cafe and talk about it. She refused, so we ended up getting off the phone. Later that day, she messages me saying that I need to send her my address so her attorney could send over paperwork. Remember that for later. Obviously, in response to that, I tell her that we can hop on the phone. Again, we talk for about 30 minutes in which she refuses to disclose what she wants to talk about. And at the end, she tells me that she's pregnant. At that point, I realized that maybe we do need to talk in person. But because our schedules weren't matching up, we ended up just hopping on FaceTime. On that FaceTime, we talked about a lot of things, including her father working in finance and her mother being an Egyptian national who works in counterterrorism programs in America. Mind you, I don't even know if that's true. And by the end of this, you'll realize that it's really hard to believe anything she says. We spoke about what the plan was moving forward because, frankly, I don't want to have a child with anyone right now, especially not her. Mind you, all the times that we've spoken so far, she's made an attempt to try to get me to come over to her house to talk about it in person. Conclusion of that phone call, she said that she needs more time to think about it, and honestly, that's fair. 2 or 3 days later, she messages me saying, actually, I'll have my attorney contact you. Please send me your address. At that point, I'm like, hey, have your attorney contact me because you're being very fucking weird. Now, this is where shit gets juicy. I'm actually making this into a part 2, but I'm going to post it right there.
She only wanted you for your genes, bro. Okay, maybe that's not the proper way to joke about something. But you can't tell me that guy didn't love this attention that he was getting from Danisha, because he looked like he couldn't wait to announce this. Like he couldn't wait to literally humble this woman he met on the internet who is very famous. Like he really couldn't wait. The excitement in his face when he was telling this. Like you can see that he really wanted to humble her so much so that he got that opportunity which she gave her. Nonetheless, he is a victim in the story, and I don't like siding with perpetrators anyways. So even her, she's a woman, even though I haven't said anything. It takes a lot of willpower to be quiet when you have been accused of such. So the rest of the video is really going to be me just listening to him, and I don't really think I would have anything to add, but my mind might change later. But like I said, I don't feel comfortable siding with men currently in our society when it comes to any act of violence. I don't have the willpower for it, literally. Unfortunately, emotionally, I'm not there to side with male victims. Unfortunately, I don't have the empathy for men. Hey, I am trying to develop that interest, but it's gonna take time and it needs to be genuine. Hence, I am posting this, even though I saw it and I wanted to ignore it, and I think that's why I'm posting it much later on. So my biasness kind of like interfered with me making this video, but nonetheless, I am making it for the fact that he's a victim and his story needs to be shared nonetheless, regardless of my opinion. So let's listen to part 2.
This is part part 2 of how Danisha Carter has been harassing me for over a month and a half. You need to get caught up. The first video was posted right before this. Pretty much Danisha crossed her friend, leading to him outing their entire text message thread. And if you want all the receipts to read yourself, I will link them in a Google Drive in the comment. These messages are in response to her telling me to come over to her house and me saying that I don't feel comfortable doing so. Her friend said maybe he can't afford an Uber, and you can read the rest. This is where shit gets juicy. Why would Danisha message her friend, but it's very on brand for the WAG trying to trap an athlete, quote unquote, suddenly pregnant, pissed athlete wants proof, I had a miscarriage. And her friend tells her to practice her pregnancy gait. Pause to read the rest. First few messages are a bit unimportant, but it's pretty much Danisha and her employer slash friend who outed her talking about travel accommodations. But then if you look right here, I don't know how to play this now that I'm not saying I'm pregnant, laugh my ass off. More screenshots. Do I actually tell him I'm pregnant, or do I make the reveal that I just want to fuck him? And her friend tells her that, hey, the reveal is good, but don't overplay your hand. Danisha then says, so don't say I'm pregnant, and her friend says to save it. Then she says, okay, he won't hate me for lying to him just to fuck him? And then her friend responds, he's a man, Danisha. Then says, I'm also a man who hates her and a man who has a mother. She says, laugh my fucking ass off. I mean, if some girl is yapping about being pregnant, wouldn't he tell her? Then I'm attacked from all sides. The Compton commie. Let's just overlook the racial undertones of calling me some kind of Compton commie. The whole time I'm not even from fucking Compton, bro. Her friend says, no one tells their main bitch that their side bitch is pregnant. It's like you never listen to confessions. Mind you, there was no main, and Danisha could not be a side if her name was Onion Rings. Her friend tells her that by lying to me about being pregnant, I will come over and the emotions will be high, the intimacy will be high, we'll lock eyes, and then the end. And then she says, what, do I appear worried or scared? Nervous? He says yes. She says, then I tell him that I went to the doctor and got a blood test for my thyroid and I'm pregnant. And if he doesn't believe it, we pulled out. Sorry, this is so many details. And she's fucking right. This is so many details. I'd rather not have to share this shit. But you keep fucking harassing me, so here you go. Now that we got the screenshots out of the way, let's dive into the next issue. The reason she kept asking for my address to send over attorney paperwork is because she was trying to fucking dox me. Her friend exposed her for trying to fucking dox me in the same Discord server where she's telling everyone that I'm a fucking cheater. The same Discord server where she got another man doxed a few years ago for saying she's like fucking catfish. Now let's really talk about it. Danisha is poor. There's nothing wrong with being poor. She puts on this facade of being some kind of rich upper class girl, and that's not true. Told me she had 2 houses in Los Angeles, but really, one of the houses belongs to the person who outed her. He pays her $2,000 a month to manage the company's social media just to keep her afloat. And the other house is just a roommate situation with a girl who she continuously talks shit about. And her TikTok's not even monetized. You're literally just being a capitalist shill for free. And if you need more proof, I've got roommates who could corroborate the entire story. If you're watching this, Danisha, we hooked up one time. I don't know why you're crashing out over it that fucking bad. The fact that it went from just berating me in my DMs to straight lying about pregnancy to now harassing me on the internet, on all the dead homies, you're a weirdo. Now please, don't ever contact me again or I will just continue to spill receipt. Thank you.
I know I said I might think about it, and I know probably some of you just want to watch the whole thing, but this is YouTube, guys, okay? I have to set my opinion in it. So, I feel like other parts were not necessary. Her being poor, other relevant information was not necessary. I feel like he needed to talk more about what happened to him more than about his situation, her situation, Danisha's situation, if you get what I mean. But again, I'm siding with him as a victim. I'm not taking that away from him that he is a victim, that someone tried to violate him and force him literally to do something that he does not want. But at the same hand, I'm looking at you as someone who's an opportunist. And you are a victim and an opportunist, someone who's willing to take advantage of the situation that's happening around him to reveal unnecessary information. That has nothing to do with you that her account is not monetized. It has nothing to do with you that she's broke. It has nothing to do with you to just spread that other part of the information. But what has to do with you is what happened to you. You know, I feel like you couldn't wait. It's like you literally couldn't wait to just to expose her. You were so excited, and you guys are gonna see in the last videos But yeah, I believe him as a victim, by the way.
I said I was done talking about it, but I'm not, because one thing you're not going to do is call me a liar. Firstly, to the people who are like, oh, you're lying, you fabricated those screenshots, that's why you cropped the name, da da da. When you green screen on TikTok, it crops the top and the bottom of your photo, so there's that. Here's all the full screenshots for you. Here's the rest of the screenshots. To everyone who's saying, oh, why would you bring her drama to the internet? She tried to fucking dox me. She tried to run a smear campaign on me. She was lying about being pregnant to coerce me into having sex with her, and it's been going on for a month and I haven't said shit. Well, how do you know she's trying to run a smear campaign? DJ Soulchild sent me these screenshots from an email that he got from an anonymous account a week ago. I have been getting harassed about cheating on my nail tech girlfriend for a fucking month. The person who stalked my nail tech girlfriend was Danisha. While on FaceTime with her friend who exposed her, he literally asked me, oh, are you talking to the blank girl with blank features? Only reason he would know that is if Danisha is fucking stalking the people I'm talking to. Also, Raya is exclusive. If you caught me on Raya, that means that you are someone who is also on fucking Raya. And guess what? We matched on Raya. Like, an anonymous person caught me on Raya. Meanwhile, you have to get fucking approved to even be on the app. However, caught me on Raya is someone who has some level of influence. People are like, oh, why didn't you screenshot her on the dating app? It's Raya. You cannot screenshot on Raya or you will get kicked the fuck off. You will literally get banned from the app for screenshotting people. Also, I'm just not lame. I'm not gonna screenshot people who are popular who match with me because that's fucking lame. And if you don't believe me, I literally called her Uber. Here's a screenshot. Everyone wondering why she's not giving her side of the story, it's because it's fucking embarrassing. This whole thing is fucking embarrassing. She's not gonna post her side of the screenshots because all the screenshots are the same, because why the fuck would I fabricate a story like this? Like, do you think I'm Tyler Perry? Mind you, I really did not want to post about this. I literally texted her saying, yo, I have screenshots showing that you're lying, please leave me alone. She continued to go, so guess what? Two could play that game. She literally was having people fucking harass me on Instagram and TikTok for months. People were literally at her behest contacting people that I fucking work with. To be fair, she does have some narcissistic personality quirks, which I feel like led to her not truly believing that her friend would out her so bad just to get back at her. I sent her one screenshot asking her to leave me alone, and I don't think she believed that her friend would out himself so bad and send me all the screenshots of their conversation. Because yes, shout out to him for sending me the screenshots, but the screenshots still make him look very bad. Everyone who's like, oh, how could you be around someone with drastically different politics? I need you to realize, I don't be on the internet like that. To me, Danisha is just the AI girl who talks in the monotone voice. I was not familiar with her Twitter. I was not familiar with her takes regarding texturism and colorism. I was not familiar with any of this. I genuinely have not seen her on my For You page since like 2022. All the takes I've seen from her have given progressive liberal. And yes, I don't like liberals, but we have to also realize that liberals make up like 80% of people who are not staunch Republicans. But yeah, that's all I got for you. Well, how do you know she's trying to run a smear campaign? DJ Soulchild sent me these screenshots from an email that he got from an anonymous.
Yeah. It was me. Hold on, let me stop. No, let me stop. I'm only making this video because I got to make some corrections here. One, I am not the friend who was texting Danisha Carter and coaching her on allegedly faking a pregnancy. Y'all mixed Khalil's words up bad. He's not saying that was me. I sent him a screenshot of emails I got a week ago about him allegedly sleeping with a large creator. At the time, I didn't know it was Danisha. And I didn't send those emails from the kindness of my heart. He asked for them. He was in my live stream last night when he broke the story out about Danisha. Then he came into the live. He talked about it for an hour or so. And I told him that, hey, a week ago, I got these emails about you, but I sat on it and didn't say anything. And he was like, hey, can you send me the emails? I said, bet. So I sent the emails. And then I see this video, and he's making it seem like he didn't ask me for it. Khalil, you bald-headed demon, you. You made it seem like it's my fault. That's not cool, man. But one thing about it, though, I am messy.
This is the last thing I'm going to address regarding this entire situation. I never cheated on my girlfriend. I don't even have a girlfriend. I met a girl a week after me and Danisha hooked up and we started hanging out. The girl did my nails and posted them on her story. I shared it. Danisha was stalking me and saw that and then assumed that I had a girlfriend. So everyone calling me a cheater, go fuck yourself. Here's the screenshot showing our first date. The girl who I had met and hung out with, we met on January 16th for the first time in real life. These messages from the day I met Danisha are from January 10th. I was saying I would avoid this if I didn't cheat. Whole time, I never cheated.
The whole Danisha Carter and Khalil gossip situation is killing me. Because if this was another woman that was exposed for doing this, I swear Danisha will come online and do this. Ladies, crashing out about a man who doesn't want to have sex with you and he pretend that you're pregnant is desperate. I'm sorry. I know that's rude. But I did that because a lot of the dating content that Denisha reacts to or makes videos about, it comes across like that. It comes across as like, don't embarrass yourself. Don't do things for men that will make you look like you're desperate for their attention. Meanwhile, she's doing this behind closed doors. I'm not trying to shame her or anything, because I feel like with men, and especially if you get into relationships with people or you maybe sleep with someone, sometimes you do crazy things. That has not happened to me yet, but I know deep in my heart that I know that I have craziness within me, but I don't want to reveal that. That's why I don't date. I'm not saying I don't believe the situation. It's just crazy because like Denisha has like, I don't know, 1 million followers, and her videos get like hundreds of thousands of views and likes. And the fact that Khalil said that she doesn't have her own money or her TikTok isn't monetized, I don't know if I, like, that's crazy. All of this is to say is that you don't know anyone online. Like those creators that you have parasocial relationships with, or who you think are, could be your friend, or you think you could be like besties in real life, just take a step back, because we really know nothing. You know nothing about me. I know nothing about, for example, Drew. I love Drew. But like, see, even me saying that, I don't know her. I don't know anyone I see through the screen. I'm just really curious how this will all play out.
Danisha Carter is going to have to come on here without the colored contacts and without that monotone voice, which I know pot calling the kettle black, especially now that I'm battling like a chest cold. But to explain those damn Twitter clapback ass texts that she sent him, one, because that was the first part that had me really confused. Like, girl, why were you sending those messages? Maybe she like isn't used to being rejected or feeling rejected or being ghosted, because she is very beautiful. She's a beautiful woman. On the outside, we see. But maybe it's that, and she didn't want to be seen as desperate for like being open about wanting him, but like going to the lengths to allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, because this receipts that he did provide were between her and like a former friend. So I guess I always get weary about those things. I mean, this is something weird to lie about on his part and on her part. It's just like very confusing, because the whole thing, I'm like, what is so wrong about just like being open that you want to fuck someone, that you feel like you have to create an entire elaborate plan to say that you got pregnant by them? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Who fakes being pregnant when you're an adult? That's so confusing. That's so confusing. Like, this is weird. This is all so weird.
Danisha Carter, pick up the phone. They are saying you're crazy and broke. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this dude here named Khalil spilled all the beans. And by beans, I mean tea. And by tea, I mean bleach. On Danisha. And if you don't know who she is, she's basically an OG TikToker, right? She's been around for a few years. A lot of people think she's AI, but she's a real person. And she basically makes think piece content. I'm going to give a very brief version. I'll link his video down below. But allegedly, him and Danisha matched on a dating app, and I guess he put homegirl through the mattress. I mean, broke her back and then some. I mean, he cracked her like a crab leg and slurped that meat out of her, because she has been crazy for him ever since. Judging from the video he just posted, it sounds like Khalil and Danisha met on Raya. That is the exclusive app for like rich people, influencers, celebrities, that type of stuff. And then they hooked up in early January. And I guess old boy really put it on her, you know what I'm saying? Gave her that vitamin D, and she needed him back like real, real bad, and has been harassing him, trying to link in person. He wasn't really trying to do that. And I guess because Danisha could not get her way, she told him that she was pregnant, which was a lie. And one of Danisha's friends did expose her by leaking these messages to Khalil that he included in his follow-up video to show the receipts. This is actually insane, child, not pregnancy gate. And then apparently, because Danisha and Khalil couldn't find a time to meet up in person to talk about their situation, the pregnancy gate or whatever, she asked him to send her his address so that way her attorney could send him papers. It turns out the real reason why Danisha wanted his address address was so that she could dox him like she allegedly did some other dude she used to mess with who called her a catfish. And Danisha has already been allegedly talking shit about Khalil in her Discord, which is why her fans have been harassing him and commenting mean things on his socials. Danisha accused Khalil of being a cheater and making her the other woman, which is not true. What really happened is that Khalil met a girl the week after he hooked up with Danisha, and I guess they hit it off, and she did his nails and then posted the work to his story. And then Danisha saw that and made 1 + 1 = fish and thought that they were together. Going back to the friend that leaked these messages, apparently Danisha is not as well off as she presents herself to be.
Danisha is poor. There's nothing wrong with being poor. She puts on this facade of being some kind of rich upper class girl, and that's not true. Told me she had 2 houses in Los Angeles, but really, one of the houses belongs to the person who outed her. He pays her $2,000 a month to manage the company's social media just to keep her afloat. And the other house is just a roommate situation with a girl who she continuously talks shit about. And her TikTok's not even monetized. You're literally just being a capitalist shill for free.
Y'all, this is too much. Not during Black History Month. And now people are in Danisha's comment section, harassing her, demanding answers. Ooh, Jesus. Whew. Let me know what y'all think about all of this.
The Danisha and Khalil stuff, I have thoughts, and I don't feel like keeping them to myself. So one of my mutuals, Z, who will be tagged, we stay locked in, I swear to God. After seeing everyone's videos, giving their opinions on Khalil's situation, I was thinking something, kept it to myself, but right when I was thinking it, her video popped up, and she took the words right out of my head. All the oh, why was he on Raya, or is it Raya? I don't know. Why was he on that app? What is he doing over there? It's giving, what was she wearing? It is giving, what did she have on, and why would she have been wearing that? Because how does a conversation go from, here's proof of sexual coercion and stalking, to, why was he on Raya? He's straight? What? Y'all are different kind of dumb. Because, first and foremost, because I'm getting to a lot. First and foremost, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. Even if it were weird, which it's not, there's no reason for that to be brought up. You're weird. You're weird. You're weird. It says a lot about you. But no, let's get into it then. I don't even use dating apps, right? But it seems that this app, or y'all's problem with it, is that it's exclusive to creatives, right? People with followings, brands of some sort, right? Khalil, he's a photographer, a pretty established one in LA. He's probably on that app to meet other creatives, to network, to find clientele, or maybe he would just like to date someone in his field. That's not wrong. He's worked with Beyonce, Doechii, he's pretty established himself. I'm not even deep into all of it, and I know that because it just seems like it's self-explanatory. That's a real dumb thing to come out of a lot of y'all mouth. Plenty of valid reasons why he would be on that app in particular, but it's not even just that, because the women in my community, God bless them, they are never beating the homophobic allegations. A moment of silence for my sisters. God forbid a nigga paint their nails, or bend their wrist, or don't constantly keep their voice at a baritone F sharp. The only form of self-expression niggas get to have is bobbing in the corner at the club, like this. Just as nonchalant and emotionless as possible. A lot of progressive women showing their ass right now, because this is not how y'all would handle this situation if the genders were reversed. Because look, I'm side-eyeing a couple of you. I'm side-eyeing a few people. I'm side-eyeing y'all. And then lastly, let's get into the fake leftist accusations, right? Because all this questioning about Raya, that's actually what it boils down to. Let's cut off the fat and just get to it. Christian Divine made a video about this, maybe multiple videos, but there is no money in grifting to the left. That's not a thing. Y'all can name a total of one leftist, not even a grifter, who has made a substantial amount of money being a leftist. That's Hassan Piker. And he also comes from money, so there's that. What does someone in Khalil's position stand to gain, except free time from losing clients and losing jobs, from being a leftist, from advocating for people's human rights in the ways that he does, from unapologetically upholding leftist, or should I say socialist and communist views? I hate that term, leftist. And these fake leftist accusations also feel like a bit of projection, because a lot of y'all, not leftists, but a lot of liberals, get on here and just make videos all day. You don't do anything for your communities aside from voting. Khalil organizes, he donates. Not only does he speak about important issues and use his platform in that way, he also protests, all of which y'all don't do. So it's just like, where does the fake part come in? Like, how does him being on Raya prove that he would be a fake leftist? That he does the work. So again, the fake leftist accusations, not much of a platform to grift with, does the actual work, advocates with that platform that's not even that big. What clout does he stand to gain that wouldn't be gained by just grifting to the right? That's where all the money has always been, in grifting to the right. Look, y'all look real stupid right now. One thing that's gonna always stay consistent is that y'all will always treat victims strange. It's just funny to see how it plays out when you actually get to see it like this, especially with all you progressives. Look, what Rihanna said.
You really want me to believe that you over there best in self-righteous? You have never crashed out over some good mekwa? Tell the truth and shame the devil. You have never collected one magnificent mekwa like that, and you were like, rage. Tell the truth. Danisha went to go and collect penny-kwa, and the penny-kwa was penny-quan. Premium penny-quan. I don't know if you can hear me. I say grade A. This person puts a, not even a dent. This person installed a hole inside of her Vitafoam. That is the level of this mekwa that she collected. He now had the audacity to go and be fighting fire instead of giving her round 2. Who does that? Who does that? Let's just be realistic for a second, please. Let me tell you something. There is no possible reality where me and you, let me just admit to, I am a recovering crash out. In my past life, I used to crash out. Yes, I was a very dramatic type of person. But even with my status as a recovering crash out, there is no blood clot, ras clot, dish clot, wash clot way. You're telling me that you and I, we are going to share mutual, magnificent mekwa, and you think I'll be here calling you, you will not answer? Are you crazy? That's crazy. She had called that man, and they only met one time. They only met one one time. It's just one time that she collected that penny. Just one time. And she said, give me more. I want more. She texted that man. The guy did not reply. She came back. She said, how dare you not reply to me? Like, you not going to make me like that and now go and ghost me. Who does that? Ogana came and said, I wasn't ghosting you though. I not see all this fire that is firing our town. I'm helping the firefighter. I'm fighting fires. Danisha told that man, I don't give a fuck the shit. Come and fight this fire. She said, you burnt a hole through my Vitafoam, and you think you can just casually drop your phone and go and fight fire? This is why you are broke. This is why you are bored. This is why nobody likes you. And your mommy is also a... That is what Danisha said, allegedly. And you know what? I completely understand. Okay? I completely understand. Because the orgasmus gap, yeah, the distance between the boys that used to arrive and the girls that used to arrive, that distance is very big. So when you find somebody that takes you to Canaan land, you will hold on to them. You will hang on to the hem of their cloth. People are now coming out saying that they should have known that she was a crash out with that her blue contacts and the flitter and the accent. I don't know how any of those things will give you insight that somebody is a crash out. I don't think she's crashing out because she's just a crash out, even though being a crash out is very valid. I think she's crashing out because, like I said, in this day and age, yeah, in this our batified regime, the distance between the boys that used to go to Canaan land and the girls that used to arrive in Canaan land, that distance is much. So if you are fortunate enough to find somebody that willingly carry you to Canaan land, and they carry you to Canaan land with the promises of Christ in their bosom, you too will not want to let them go. Danisha, baby, don't listen to these people. I stand with Danisha. Yes, as a member of Indie Yappers Nigeria United, I stand with my yapping American sister. Don't mind them. I stand with you. Crash out, my love. It is completely valid. Don't mind that boy. It's completely valid. Your crash out is valid. He's very wicked. He's been so wicked and evil. How dare he? do that to you, now go and say he's fighting fire. Who sent you? ITK, best in firefighting.